You probably know the story of Joseph and his brothers, right? The fancy coat, the jealousy, the whole pit-to-palace saga in Egypt. It's one of the great family dramas of all time. But what if I told you there's another story hidden just beneath the surface, a kind of cosmic conspiracy, hiding in plain sight? Let's dig in.
So the whole thing gets started with what looks like a totally normal request from a dad to his son. But was it really that simple? We're about to see that every little detail, every place name, every person they meet might just be a clue that this is way, way bigger than just a family feud.
All right, so it begins with this seemingly simple errand. Jacob asks his favorite son Joseph, hey, can you go check on your brothers? They're out pasturing the flock in a place called Shechem, and Jacob just wants to make sure they're doing okay. Simple enough, right?
And Joseph's response is instant. In Hebrew, he says, hineni. It means, here I am, or I am ready. Now, what's amazing, and what the great medieval commentator Rashi points out, is that Joseph knew his brothers hated his guts. I mean, thanks to his dreams, he was fully aware, and yet he doesn't hesitate. He's ready to obey his father, even knowing the danger.
So, off he goes. The text tells us specifically he was sent from the Valley of Hebron to find his brothers in Shechem. Now tuck those two names away, Hebron and Shechem, because they are going to become super important later. For now, just picture this teenager on a long walk, heading straight for his destiny.
Okay, so first, let's just go over the story as it appears on the surface. It's a classic tale of raw jealousy, of betrayal, and a pretty sinister plot hatched out in the middle of nowhere.
But, of course, the journey isn't that simple. Joseph gets to Shechem, and his brothers aren't there. He's lost, just wandering around this field, when some guy finds him. And this mysterious man tells him, oh yeah, the brothers, they moved on to a place called Dothan. So Joseph keeps going, getting closer and closer to the trap.
Now, this whole encounter feels like a lucky break, doesn't it? I mean, what are the odds? A random stranger just happens to have the exact information Joseph needs at the exact moment he needs it. You know, if it wasn't for this guy, Joseph might have just given up and gone home, and the entire course of history would have been completely different. This one little meeting is the pivot point for everything that follows.
And this is where the tension just snaps. The very moment his brothers see him off in the distance, all that simmering hatred just boils over. There's no debate, no second thoughts. The text is so direct, it's chilling. Before he even gets close, they're already planning his murder.
And their plan? It's just cold and calculated. They sneer, here comes that dreamer, and then they lay it out, step by step. Kill him, dump the body in a pit, and then cook up a believable cover story to tell their father. This isn't a crime of passion, it's premeditated, and it is brutal.
Okay, but now let's hit rewind. Let's go all the way back and look at those exact same events, but this time we're going to put on our Rashi glasses. He reads between the lines, he questions every single word, and what he finds, well, it changes absolutely everything. Rashi kicks things off with what seems like a simple geographical mistake. The text says Joseph was sent from the Valley of Hebron, but wait a minute. Anybody familiar with the area would know Hebron is a city on a mountain. It is definitely not in a valley. So is the Bible just bad at geography, or something else going on here?
And this is where Rashi's genius just shines. He points out that the Hebrew word for valley, Emek, is connected to the word for deep, Amok. So maybe, just maybe, Joseph wasn't sent from a physical valley, but from the deep counsel of his great-grandfather Abraham, who happens to be buried in Hebron. Suddenly, this isn't just an errand anymore. It's the first step in fulfilling God's ancient promise that Abraham's descendants would be exiled in a foreign land.
So let's keep going with this idea. Remember that mysterious man who just happened to find Joseph wandering in the field? On the surface, it's just a coincidence. But if we're in a story about a grand divine plan, are there really any coincidences?
No, I mean, let's really think about this. What are the actual chances? A kid is lost in the middle of nowhere, and a stranger not only appears out of thin air, but has somehow overheard the precise travel plans of the exact group of people he's looking for. It just seems a little too perfect, doesn't it? And Rashi's answer is just stunning. He says this was no man. This was the angel Gabriel in disguise. A literal divine intervention was needed to make sure Joseph didn't turn around, to guarantee that he would find his brothers and walk right into the trap that would eventually lead him to Egypt and save the world.
But wait, it gets even deeper. Rashi actually decodes the angel's message. So when Gabriel says, "They have gone from here," Rashi says he's also hinting they have departed from their very sense of brotherhood. And when he tells Joseph to go to Dothan, Rashi hears a clever play on the Hebrew word dathot, which means laws. He's secretly warning Joseph that his brothers are looking for legal loopholes to justify killing him. It's a coded message hidden in a simple direction.
So this brings us to the absolute climax of the story. The conspiracy is no longer just a plot between brothers. It's become a full-on contest between a human plan and a divine one.
We hear the brothers' plan loud and clear. Their intention is to kill him. In their minds, they are completely in control. They're going to get rid of the dreamer, and by doing so, get rid of his dreams.
And then they say this. It sounds like a final, nasty taunt, doesn't it? Let's murder him, and then we'll see what happens to those big-shot dreams of his. But listen very, very closely. Rashi hears something else entirely.
And here is the logical puzzle Rashi finds. Think about it. If you kill the dreamer, the dreams die too. There's literally nothing left to see. So why on earth would the brothers say that? From their point of view, it makes zero sense. So the all-important question becomes, who is actually speaking those words?
Rashi's conclusion just lands like a bombshell. Those last few words, "we shall see what comes of his dreams," they aren't being spoken by the brothers at all. A brand new voice has just hijacked the conversation, the Holy Spirit, the voice of God.
The entire scene is completely transformed. It's now a divine challenge. It's as if the text is showing us two things at once. The brothers declare their plan. Let us kill him. And then God, right there in the same sentence, replies, and we shall see. It's a cosmic showdown. Whose words are going to stand in the end? Yours or mine? The family drama is now a stage for a battle over destiny itself.
So when you pull it all together, what do we see? Through Rashi's incredible insights, this isn't just a story about sibling rivalry anymore. It's a story about destiny, where a chance encounter might really be an angel. And the real fight isn't over a coat, but over whose plan for the future is going to win.
And really, looking at this ancient story through this new lens leaves us with a pretty big question for ourselves, doesn't it? How often are we in our own lives playing a part in a story that is so much bigger than we can possibly imagine?